All right, and we are live, and it's the VOLO and Buttheads Tech-A-Palooza. We cranking out today a little bit earlier than usual. I got a show tonight, so I'm going to get started and do the show beforehand so I can get myself together and go out to a live show. I'm actually doing a show in downtown LA at the Tavern, where it's a comedy competition. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to win $1,000 today. Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see, but it's Mr. C the Enforcer, probably called a bad boy. We're starting off our show, Bull and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza, where we talk about technology, coming technological concerns, and our worries about things in the future, or even the positive aspects of what technology can do for you. Today, our technology lord of the week is Nikola Tesla. I don't know if I've done it before, but I had to think of this really last minute. He's the first person to come to mind. So that is our tech lord of the week, Mr. Nikola Tesla. And let's go ahead and get into the show. I always play videos in the early portion just to get things going. I'm going to play a little background music just to kill also since I'm getting myself together. And I'll get my videos and stuff together. Just organizing here, get my videos and stuff set up to start. I'm cranking stuff up. All right, here we go. I'll put all these videos on.
Crimes is a multimedia company that dwells into hip hop, the culture of hip hop, comedy, entertainment, politics, tech, social commentary, animation, and more. We keep it fresh, real, and free. From behind the curtains of the industry, animated skits, animated shows, narrative tales, parodies, mini documentaries, and more. Hashtag Thought Crimes, hashtag Think Tank. Joined in July 14, 2015, and they're about to hit over 8 million views. This is P Solo and Sincere's page. You go to their home section page right here. And, you check the artwork. It's wonderful. I like the way they use the orange. I've been following P Solo for over 10 years. That's when I first joined YouTube. And Sincere, not too that far after that. So I don't know who this is supposed to represent. This is a light and dark side to Sincere. We'll figure that one out later. But this is their intro page, and as you can see, you see Jay-Z, you see Nas, Royce da 5'9", some great MCs, even Eminem, four of their main, so I like how their page is set up here. Let me see if I can see the outside of it. So I'm just, pointing them out because this is one of the pages I already did Young Ripper page. They won't let me do it. This is another page that I turn to for my, arts and entertainment of hip hop. As you can see here, their main videos over the past couple of days have been Joe Rogan, Joe Budden, Indy Irie, exposing the boy Joe. Whoopi, Whoopi got herself into a little bit of trouble, but I watched this episode and they really broke it down for those that's just unaware on, and watching them brings me back to where I hear everybody goes, and this is my truth. Where we say, it's my opinion, I have my right to my opinion. It's like, y'all, we have to stop looking at it in that aspect. It's your truth. Let your truth come out. That's what I deal with trying to explain through explaining, computer science and mathematics and things of that nature. That's the object of my show. But I just wanted to come here real quick to show y'all this. This is, I like to highlight other channels that I watch, and this was the last one that I watched here. I peeped a little bit of this, but y'all can see they run them kind of long. So whenever I get a chance, I'll just come over and check out some of the things that they're saying. And you see, there's a lot of videos. They down with Let's Go Biden too, TOO. Because they know the hypocrisy he goes through. As you can hear my voice, I'm a little toned because it's, as soon as somebody talks bad about this guy, it's just funny how Democrats, Black Democrats, or African-American Democrats, to be politically correct, they think it's capping for, even this guy here, D. Dom, you talk bad about him, or you talk, anything derogatory or bad about him, and it's like you're caping for the other. You're the one that's not woke because you think you're following behind it, and it's like, no, it's just comedy, dude. Like, I laughed at Trump though, his whole administration. I'm one of the first ones to say, he's the most entertaining president of all time, and y'all took that the wrong way. Like, the president's not supposed to be funny, and this guy's not. He's claiming not to be funny, but then it's just hilarious to hear some of the things that come out of his mouth, and it's like you trying to say that he's here to help us, and then he's giving out pipes. That's just funny to me, like, and it's like, well, it's not for that, it's for them. He's giving it to his people, and it's like, well, you're still not making any sense. Like, that's the part that we're trying to get you to understand. Never mind. This is the VOLO show. This is where we at. Let's come out of here. Do how I do. I get comfortable. This is the Neo VOLO show. What I like to do is ask for like 10 minutes of your time to spit a little rhyme, flow a little bit on the mathematics, and how it relates to life. And I throw a little music in the background that I create. Let me see if I can find my thing. So I'm just gonna jump right into it because I already wasted a little bit of your time. No, I ain't wasted time. If y'all wanna understand real hip hop culture, go to Thought Crimes on YouTube. Found my page. Go to their page. Ripper 5'9", the same thing. Ripper 5'9" is a little different because he's a hip hopper. If I talk to him, he probably acknowledge that. His main thing is liberty. Like, he's a libertarian. Thoughts Crimes is more of hip hop politics, which is like an independent of. But you check them out. They'll explain their own selves to them. I'm here to explain my motive and my movement and everything. So let's see here. I started at 10 minutes, and today's show. Let's see where we at here. Click on this right here, and as y'all can see, this is my normal setup, right? Added a couple more. Actually, I got too many, so I'm gonna subtract some of these today. I want it to just be like this many squares. So I think I'm going to subtract. I'm gonna try to subtract 5 today. Which 5 am I going to subtract? We're going to figure that out. I'm gonna keep all of my. This is today's show. Here we go. Welcome to the Neo VOLO show, and today we're talking about all warfare is based upon deception. That title just ill, right? And I got this title, right? I was thinking of, I'd be thinking of titles and everything, and I was watching the Clone Wars. And this was basically, they throw a little, mental thought at the beginning of every episode, and this was the mental thought that they threw at me. And I was just like, I got to use that for the next show because, it speaks for itself. And we're too right. We're like, I've shared it on my main page where this professor talks about putting rats in a cage and electrocuting the cage that had the rats fight each other, and that's the Democrats and Republicans. Y'all fighting each other, and you're being controlled by the authoritarians of those groups. And but we will get. I'm here to subtract this. It speaks for itself. The title is a beautiful title. I think if you reflect on it, and then you'll see, like, well, you'll look in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm the slave. But this is a cool picture because this is actually from Animal Crossing. It's like a little virtual video game that me and my family plays. This is like one of the rooms I'm setting up as like a studio. So, it's my grill, but in my little virtual studio, I'm gonna go make my beats with, the animals of the, of the game. So, but yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna talk about games and everything too. I do try to get those things in. But today I just wanted to, point out a couple things that we, but I'm gonna take some of these off. I'm gonna take this. No, I'm gonna start with which one did I want to start with? I'm gonna start with this one right here because this one came to me like, I wanted to talk about it, but it's like it's a false equality, and in their fake dichotomies. That's my new hashtag with this kind of ideology of Whoopi being the problem. Whoopi's not the problem. Whoopi just did what they pay her to do. They pay her to say the things that she say. And, but I said, blame the white man. And like, that's what they pay her to do. So it's funny to me that now she's in trouble. Now, Brandon, when he came in all aggressive saying, if you're not nice to people, I'm going to fire you. You know what I mean? So black people getting fired all across the nation. And we acting like it was, business as usual, or those people weren't doing what they needed to do. And we talking about business getting shut down and all kinds of et cetera stuff. And we trying to talk about these things. And when we do talk about it and criticize them, then we got people saying you're caping for the other side. You're capping for the Republicans. And that's not what we're doing. We're sharing the information on, listen, that smoking, a lot of stuff that he's proposing is smoking screen. And handing out pipes is smoking screen. And this is what I need to do with this one. This one here, because it's not her. You know what I mean? Her name's Whoopi Goldberg. She calls herself that. Why? Because she believes that Jew is a religion, and she believes that that's what she is. She helps that community. She's that community. You know what I'm saying? So all this, she hates them. That's coming from the very people that that we're caping for, that Biden's actually capping for, is trying to get her out of there. And now she's in her own little pickle and everything like that. She needs to just leave them, start her own business and everything, and get separated from that nonsense, because all she's doing is talking. But listen, that's not what I'm here for. Boom, that gotta go. All right, we'll talk about her later. I love Whoopi. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. We'll talk more about that. This one stays because this is my main focus. I want people to start to understand that when I say love is true, that means hate is false. Why? Because love is the negation of hate, not S. Love is the negation of hate. We're going to talk more about that at another time, all right? Because that's important right here. What's dope about this is this what leads to computer science, where you have this thing called the NOT gate, where this can be a 1, that can be a 0. You tell the computer to change the 1 to a 0, or you tell the computer to change the 0 to the 1, and from there you use NOT gates, you use OR gates, you use AND gates, you use if-then, you use conditional thing to be able to simulate artificial intelligence, to have it seem like the computer is smarter than you, when you're playing something as simple as chess. You can program a computer to be smarter than the average human being in playing chess. And this is the very beginning basis of that. But that's why I got to keep that on there for a little while. Which ones do I got to take off? I want to take this one off because this one is the double false narrative. But I'm going to keep this one on here because we believe that this racist is true. And we believe, so hence we believe being anti-racist is true. But when you have the people saying the anti-racist trying to say, well, I'm against the racist, you find out that they're actually anti-black racists. Oh, lost you there. Let me come back to that. That's why I got to keep that one up there for a little while. Which ones do I want to take down? I'm going to take this one down because y'all just not ready for this kind of discussion. I started this one at very episode 1. I was like, yo, we're going to talk about this, but it's too far down the line for me to really be talking about it right now. Just look up, if you want to get the book, look up Claude Anderson, read about it, gain that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's the only way you can achieve freedom, justice, and equality. But for now, I'm going to take that off. Hold up. Yeah, I'm going to take that off the menu for now. So I'm trying to get this down too. I want to take this one down because this is what a lot of you sound like when you start talking about you caught up. You think that this is what, and then they be talking, and then you talking like this is the thing. See the left wing, us. But then you be the first one to go, well, my family, me. And it's like, well, whose side are you on, dude? Like, or ma'am, or you know what I mean? Like, that's why I want to delete this one. But this one's a very good reference because it shows how Ron is on a position of authority because he, from his experience, this sums it up. But this is the ignorance that y'all confused about it. I like to do the infinity symbol like this on this. This is all that's going on with this right here. You know what I'm saying? I sit back and laugh at it when Trump says the kung flu. I laugh because he's trying to give y'all, oh, this might have came from China, and they knew he sounds like a fool, and then they start coming out. Well, yeah, you can gain a function of, oh, see now, and it goes like this. Meanwhile, our children are suffering because y'all telling them they have to wear a mask for something that they are 99.98%. They not gonna, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna telling children that you're gonna die. Y'all killing me. Y'all wasting my time. That's why I gotta leave that one up there. I should take this one down, anti, because I do want to keep up I'm gonna redo this one, but I'm gonna leave it up for. I'm gonna leave that one up for. Which ones I'm gonna take down? This one's a new one. So I was planning on talking about this one here because this is what I'll be talking about with politics and religion and how they use hip hop to, you know what I'm saying? Like this was and so got Flavor and Professor Griff down there, and all because this guy here, even though you seen Killer Mike walked away and voted for Stein that year, but y'all don't follow Killer Mike. That's a fresh new one. That's why I can't get rid of that one there. This is a brand new one too. I talked about the 10 Commandments and how the negation works towards the 10 Commandments. And Paola was like, yo, you gotta talk about the 42 laws of Matt. And it's like, come on, the 42 is too much for them. Paola, if we just give them 10, they can't even follow 10. So you want to give them 42? Like, all right, but it dawned on me to share this, and there it is, my time. Here's my time. All right, so I'm gonna cut my timer off, and I'll be back in a little bit because I got a lot to do and still a lot to talk about. But this one here is important because notice how it's saying I will not, how the not gate is in here and how it works with, the very person say, I will not do wrong. That's like the only way to not do wrong is to be righteous, right? I will not kill. I would not steal is the second one. All right, we'll be back on that. But I just wanted to show you how that relates to this with the not. And when we actually negate it, when we're looking at true and false statements, whether truth can be something like love, and false can be something like hate. Now, I understand you want hate to be true. Hate can be true too. All right, I understand that, but understand if hate is true, then love is false. Wait, y'all want truth? Y'all want hate to be true and love to be true. That's why I'm like, yo, y'all not peeping the contradiction in that. I can have nothing but love in my heart for you. Yes, if somebody hates me, what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna share love with them. Is that hate? Yeah, that's a little bit of hate. I'll be honest. That is hate. It's a little bit of hate. You know what I mean? When I don't share love with my wife, she gets a little mad at me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how much, it translates for her. But she's my wife. That's how much she loves me. When I don't share it with her. But I share it with her 99.98% of the time. So, we'll go over percentages and stuff as we move more and more along on this whole mathematics tip. I hope y'all enjoyed this little quick talk. I didn't delete all the ones that I wanted to delete. I can't delete this one yet because I still want to talk about comic books. These are my top 5 GMCs. We're going to get back to that one. You know something? I'm going to delete this one right here because where is he at? Because that's a prime example. And this is what I'm going to end with. Where is it at? I done deleted it already. I think here it is. I'm going to delete this one, right? Because this dude is fake. He's false. He says he's an MC. He's a hip hopper. No, he's not. He's fake. He's false. Just like that's why I had to delete the. Whoopi doesn't. She doesn't claim to be a hip hopper. She claims to be a black woman that's following the Jewish faith. This guy, he went through that whole thing and then come back lying about the whole thing, and he wants to be a part of us. He says he's a G. He's not a G. He's a B. You know something? Done talking about him. If I want to talk about B's, next time I'm going to talk about Ben Simmons, because we got robbed on that deal. But I did just see that just not too long ago. That's what I mean. That's why I'm probably down too, because we done traded away. I'm gonna delete my what's the name too. So, all right. So I got 2 more to delete, and then I'll be on my even screen. Thank you for listening. Music will probably be better than my commentary today. Repeating myself, I'll be back to talk more about how materialism is killing us, fake politics. This is a new one here, the miseducation of the Negro, Carter G. Woodson, how this is Black History Month. And, real quick, I'll read it real quick. On February 7th, 1926, Carter G. Woodson initiated the first celebration of Negro History Week, which led to Black History Month, to extend and deepen the study and scholarship on African American history all year long. I respect that right there from my man Daryl Michael Scott. But now I'm on some, we got to start peeping the mathematics on. Watch this. If I say scholarship on American African history, now y'all want conflict. Why? Because then I'm kind of saying, hey, my American Indian, my American indigenous is greater than my African heritage. Just because I put it first and the other one second, and vice versa, because you're caught up in the game of Democrat, Republican. This is one. Shouldn't matter. But we're gonna say African is alpha, then Omega. American should be the Omega. Let's consider it more godlike as opposed to we're gonna fight each other because you're messed up, because we have to stay Democrat. We have to beg. We have to cake. We have to, you know what I'm saying? Don't get you the one caught up. No, I ain't caught up. I see it from a God perspective. He's caught up. He's the one sharing that false information. I'm just sharing it just to let y'all know that's the false information. There it is right there. But I went way over my time. I'll see y'all later. One, God, that is. yeah, I'm even trying to make videos about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics using computer science. For example, the CPU is the central processing unit. It is the main center of the computer. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain of the computer, for a brain cannot function without memory. You see, this is real hip-hop we're talking about. Hip means to know. It's a form of intelligence. Hop is that movement. So I guess your first question would be, how does the memory get into the CPU? How does it travel there? So the next lesson we'll talk about the different forms of memory: storage, RAM, and ROM. Yeah, we have a lot of information to cover, especially if you ever want to be, quote unquote, a Mac-head. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain. You see, this is real hip-hop we're talking about. For example, the CPU is the central processing unit. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain. So yeah, I'm even trying to make videos about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So I guess your first question would be, so the next lesson we'll talk about the different, yeah, we have a lot of information to cover. You see, this is real hip-hop we're talking about. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain of the computer, for a brain cannot function without memory. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain of memory, for a brain cannot function without. Now, I wouldn't call the CPU the brain of the computer. You see, this is real hip-hop we're talking about. Hip means to know. Hip is a form of intelligence. Hop is that movement. You see, this is real hip-hop we're talking about. Hip means it's a form of intelligence. Hop.
There is absolutely nothing going on with me romantically.
Great. Can I buy you a drink after this?
And the game is on. This is the VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. We cranking it up. I think VOLO is probably going to have to unmute himself.
Yeah, I did.
Let's see what we got going. There you go. Boop, boop, boop. And all right. So, yeah, today's VOLO and BS Tech-A-Palooza. Did we already do Nikola Tesla for the Tech Lord?
Tesla?
Yeah.
No, we didn't. Nah, of course
Okay,
not.
good. Okay, I was like,
Nah.
I can't remember if I picked him or not. All right,
No,
so
that's a good one. We've been we've been trying to be creative with it. You know what I mean? So we've been jumping around. He's a great one to do, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole Wi-Fi and everything, and how it relating to some of the things concepts that he had back in the day. Is dope. You know, comparing him to who is it? Edison or whatever.
Yeah, Thomas Edison, I guess.
Yeah. So that's dope.
Cool. So yeah, that is our Tech Lord of the Week, Nikola Tesla. So we'll also go over some of his inventions, his biography, some videos and stuff to discuss his life and see what's going on too. And we're also going to talk about some current things going on in technology. That's going to be our first segment of the show. I'll pull up just some news stories, go over some current news technology things. I didn't have any particular technology on my mind. So I don't know if Bo has anything on his mind he's concerned about also, or what's going on in the technological world. But that's what we'll do in a second. So any wrap-up stuff, Bolo?
Nah, I'm still on my, Hershey Park high, so it's I'm trying to organize the crew to go to Great Adventure by October for Fright Fest.
Okay.
So we'll see what we can do. If I can, even if it's just me, Il Product, and I'm trying to get Reek to go.
All right. Well, that is true. Well, roller coasters and amusement park stuff, that is technology.
Yeah.
And it is amazing technology. Just give me a shot of coffee. I was mid-nap. I was on my VOLO joint. I had to give me some coffee up in me, Jack. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Did you have any particular topics on your mind and things you want to talk about?
It was whatever. The youngin, he's with his mom's right now, so we chilling. He's been on Nintendo dropped that direct on the new Mario Wonder that's coming out. Conceptually, it's a pretty cute game. It's the graphics are more up to date, and they give them different abilities now. You can go through a level with different kind of abilities and stuff. Of course, he can explain it better than me. I'm more so in the Zelda stuff right now. He's fighting over whether Mario or Sonic is the great goat. But I mean, graphic wise, it looks amazing. Graphic wise, you know what I mean. As far as, I mean, it looks like you're playing a cartoon, and but it's 2-dimensional. But it does have some kind of a little bit of 3-dimensional flipping of the 2-dimensional plane. So, it's dope. It's a cute game, and it comes out next month. But I think he's gonna wait till the holiday season to play it. So we'll see how that rolls.
Excellent. Anything else? Since we're talking about the games, we might as well continue and call this section the gaming report section. Any other video game reports, updates, new games you're playing, things of that nature?
I've been doing a couple throwbacks and stuff with Zelda, just to make memes and stuff to set up future videos that I'm trying to conceptualize and making and get time to make them and stuff. As far as Tears of the Kingdom, I did get a little green health last time I played. This game is amazing. I got to get more into the building aspect of, you can make contraptions and stuff, and I'm having like writer's block as far as making deadly tanks and stuff to go fight the monsters. I'll be fighting all the monsters the old-fashioned way with blood, sweat, and sword
battle.
Yeah. You can
actually make like vehicles to really get with them, huh?
Yeah, and ride on top of them and be fighting them, as they attacking you on the vehicle and stuff. Which, I watch a little bit of video gameplay. Some of the stuff that they come up with is amazing, yo.
Yeah. And when you see other people's vehicles, can you just look at it and tell how they made it, or you like, I don't even know how they made that?
Kind of, but I'm still trying to open up a lot of the parts to make them.
Okay, excellent. So you still got to find all the parts, the components.
Yeah,
per se.
Yeah, but yeah, and when I'm mostly playing the game, I'm farming. I'm getting fruit and vegetables and hunting meat and stuff to do battles the old-fashioned way.
Right.
But I am starting to put together some dope weapons and getting in more to that aspect of it, so that maybe when it's time for me to get this tank game going, I'm gonna really take it to new levels. Flying saucers and all this other fly stuff.
Nice. Dang, you can do all that.
Yeah, pretty much, yo. This game is wild.
Dang, that's crazy. Any other updates for the gaming report?
Yeah, that's about it. Cause I do got to get into more of my Pokemon. I was hoping to play a little more PlayStation 3, so that I could bring something, a little video clip or something, a little video gameplay. But I ain't prepared for that today.
Right.
Because one of the games that I wanna pick up again is the boxing game. What is that called? Fight Night.
Oh yeah. People love that Fight Night, boy.
Yeah. I got the one with Tyson and Muhammad Ali on the cover. So
yeah, that's basically like the John Madden of boxing games. Like that came out and people was hooked on boxing games again.
Yeah. So I never played it on the newer systems. I'm still on PlayStation 3, so I might be 2008 or whatever year it came out.
Yeah, you got one of the last surviving PlayStation 3s, man. My PlayStation 3s, the daggone fan keeps going out, and everywhere I go to get a replacement, they all got the same flaw, the broken fan.
You can't find a replacement way of replacing it or something?
Maybe if I got it off the internet, then took it apart and put it in myself, but I'm scared to buy a refurbished one off the internet because I'm scared it's going to be the same hustle that you get it. It works for like 2 hours, but then it overheats and cuts off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like I was like, I ain't even buying one on the internet. I said, you know what? I'm just go up there and get the 4 and whatnot. Since that was like the next set of used ones, because I just go to GameStop. So I figure if it's GameStop got it and they're selling games to it, then it's still functioning. But the minute I see those games start disappearing from the GameStop shelf, parties
paused on me. Oh, okay.
That's just how it works. Now, my technological advancement today is I saw this candy bar at the supermarket yesterday. Technology has made a Fruity Pebbles candy bar. I don't know if you ever used to have the cereal. This candy bar tastes exactly like it, yo.
Yeah.
Exactly like it. And it's so good and unhealthy. All I've been able to do is take one bite in 2 days. It's like super thick. It's like, it's like diabetes flavored goodness. And that tastes exactly like I said, okay, it's going to taste weird. It's not like that. And I bit it and I was like, no, that's it. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to take about a month to eat this one bite at a time so I don't go into anaphylactic shock like our wonderful president, Mr. Biden would. So that's that. Excellent. Any other commentaries about games, video games, things like that?
We getting closer to Christmas, and of course, they talking about the new systems coming out, and I didn't get a chance to work with the kid yet. I still have to. I have new memory and stuff for this PC that I'm refurbishing, so I got it nice and cleaned out, and I do maybe tomorrow I can go over with him how to the different parts come together and put it back together and fire it up and see what I can do with it again, So I have another PC in my, repertoire. And then, my PS3 has been kind of, I blew it out. There's a way to hold some buttons and blow it out with the fans. I did do that, and it seemed like it is working fine after doing that. But I actually have a Wii downstairs.
Wow.
I have a Wii and a Wii U. I do have a new CD drive for that Wii U, so that might be my next project after I do this get this PC back in order, and that way I can play some old GameCube games, hopefully, with it.
Yeah.
So, just me, playing with the hardware and software, and then trying to teach the boy at the same time, and getting ready for school. School starts Tuesday, so.
Dang, that's all right. Oh yeah, it's September, huh?
Yeah, you go back.
Dang, it was summer just started the other day.
Yeah. So.
Dang, that's crazy. Is he going to school like in the same kind of school district or somewhere different now?
No, he's in the same school and everything. So, so he's already acclimated there, and I'm just trying to get him through this whole school, the school system here.
What happened? You say you're trying to get into the school system?
I'm trying to get him through the same school system. I've been parent teaching, not parent teaching, but trying to get involved with the school system here.
Yeah.
And,
you said you tried to teach there or try to be a teacher's assistant or something?
Well, I was registered years ago as a substitute teacher. And during COVID, I was able to work with his what was that, 4th grade teacher, bro? No, that was his 5th grade teacher. Mm-hmm. I was able to work with him and get more information and really looking to getting into the school system and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then COVID hit and et cetera. So, now that I got these bank hours, I can look more into it again and see how we go from there. As all part of this, trying to walk in the same kind of direction that King Randall's doing versus, the other boy.
Oh, King Umar.
Yeah. Well, no.
The King Umar. The
I
King
don't know.
Suki.
I don't know if he got king status.
King Suki.
Yeah. Yeah, she might be the king. He the queen.
Excellent. Dang. I was gonna say something. I forgot when we started teasing Umar.
Yeah, he could do that to us. And I just turned off. What's this guy's name? I forgot his name already too. That's bad.
Who, Tariq?
And no. The on YouTube, because I got you up on the YouTube thing, and it looks pretty good. Like I was wondering how my new little emblem pops up on it, because I've been watching other people. I guess they're using the same Streamlabs. What we on, Streamlabs or Stream Yards?
Yeah, stream yards. This is like the standard, like with the little talking circle and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm liking my little joint I threw up before I do the show real quick.
Nice. Excellent. So good. Yeah, God, we was talking about the video games, and then the new systems. What's the new systems coming out?
Oh, the Nintendo's they everybody's on that Switch 2 thing again. Everybody's expecting them to come out with a new system because the Switch is so old now, and then expectations is that it's going to be part 2 to the Switch. Right. Now, I think they're going to go in a whole new direction, and it's going to throw everybody off. I think they're going to go back into like a more of a hardware thing where the Switch can be used as a handheld device or something for it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think they're going to do.
Nice.
Some way to link it together how they wanted the Wii U to be. Right. So we'll see what if they even call it the Switch or whatever. That's what everybody's kind of hypothesizing, like, and whether or not it's gonna be backwards compatible. The Switch does what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's really it is every system that they ever made in your hand. So it's enough information and data on there for it to still sell for a couple more years. And then whatever the new thing is can be its own entity, yada, yada, like is what I'm expecting. Right. I was thinking something like a standalone dock. But it doesn't even have to do that if, they don't want it to just, have it linked with however they wanted to link it to each other. Via Bluetooth, et cetera, whatever these, most things use Bluetooth or whatever. So I guess they can do it that way,
Makes sense. Okay, excellent. So that's that coming up there. So good. So we put our gaming report and video game report section of the show. Did you have any current technology topics that you wanted to discuss?
Besides the hardware that I'm working on, and the kid wants to learn how to open them up and stuff now too. He does have an old 2DS that the bottom screen cracked, so we're gonna look in this. Maybe we see if we can figure out how to replace that. Getting excited about the gamings and stuff. It's just the school year is coming, and we're gonna get back into this mathematics
So this is a good question since you're the parent of a child. What kind of technology? Like, okay, you know how we did school. We had the library crap, get your sources, all that kind of crap. Can you explain to us that the differences between when you and us went to school and the difference between him going to school and the technological advances that have happened since? Could you get that dichotomy?
The only difference is the iPad, and is they have every student has an iPad.
So are textbooks dead?
Yeah, pretty much.
So everything is just in the pad?
Well, yeah, except for reading literature, they still use textbooks for that. But as far as their math homework and everything, there's no they use a physical problem solution book.
Yeah.
But as far as the definitions and everything, they get that straight from the iPads.
Okay, because you know how you like in elementary school they had like basically preset books for every class. So you didn't, the books they kind of gave you, they were already set for every student. You just brought them back at the end of the year, turn them in, whatever like that. In high school they gave you the books too, and some people will take certain books home or they'll leave certain books in their locker, take certain books home. I was a dork, so from the beginning of school into end of school, I always took all my books with me. Until I was in college, college classes are so far apart. That's stupid because you go back to your room all the time. But in high school class, I'd be that kid with the book bag just like sticking way out of here and like that. You know what I mean? Like a bobblehead, just like trying to maintain it. Are there kids like that when you go to the school sometimes still, or is that like that style of kid dork kind of gone?
Yeah, that's pretty much going. Everybody has an iPad, so all the you can download all the books onto the iPad now. I have a lot. I like that's why my next device is going to be an iPad, because I too have been buying books on the iPad, on my iPhone, and reading them that way. So the iPad is like it is a what was those things called, a Kindle and everything when they first started doing
the Kindle, that was like just the straight up book pad basically.
Yeah. So everybody's been moving in that direction. I still go to Barnes and Noble and stuff for nostalgia reasons, but I haven't bought I did buy Malcolm X. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. I did buy 2 books about a year ago. Malcolm X was on sale. I was just like, ooh, let me just own a physical copy of it, So, I am kind of building my own kind of little library here. But collecting books is kind of like collecting video cartridges now. Like most of the games are, you download straight to the system, I still have
with books, the whole concept of the show is that one day that our wonderful friends, technology, may decide that we are edible and a source of energy instead of a source of something to work with. So I like keeping books. Like I never sold any of my college books and everything. So in my closet, it's just a wall of all the books I ever had through all my college experiences, and books I randomly got, and books I got for free or bought or whatever else like that, and like useful books and whatnot. Because I'm like, okay, just in case society collapses, I want to still know what kind of food to pick. I still want to know how to make like a nuclear bomb or something. Hey, Stefan ain't not gonna be on the Kindle no more. You're gonna be like, oh my God, how do I survive without the Kindle power? It's over. So I like books for that reason.
Yeah.
But, we got a good 30, 40 years left before the end of society, so we're fine. Plenty of time. Any current technological concerns?
As far as what books and stuff,
I don't know, stuff you might have heard about, new stuff that's coming out. The transition to X, I don't know. Whatever.
I'm on me with the social media, Facebook is completely coming at my neck now, so I'm offline again.
Oh yeah, so that's a technological thing, because I mean, think about it. They're monitoring your page and stuff. That's a technological thing. So what's going on with that right now?
Well, they took down my post talking about Public Enemy's first album.
What, Fear of a Black Planet?
Nah. Actually, it was Yo Bum Rush the Show.
Oh, that's not too bad for the title.
Yeah, but I was just listening to, like, I don't know why it just popped in my head, and the very second song was Sophisticated Bitch. So it was like this might have been like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was thinking about it on Wednesday with when BAS was talking about it. I meant to bring it up, saying that, hey, there's a song that predates Bitches Ain't Shit. So, let's have a little talk about this song. And I might have made the post that day. And then the next morning I woke up and it was like, your account has been suspended for 2 days. Like,
damn.
You know what I mean? So
did you play the actual song or?
No. I made a meme. I took a picture of the album cover art and stuff, and listed the first 4 songs, and talked about how they used to see us hip hoppers as being a gang.
Yeah.
And yada yada yada. Then I said the government, and I listed the three things negative toward the government, and I guess they didn't like that. So You know, I did. You know, but I used the names of the songs on the album, like "Sophisticated Bitch" or whatever. So one of those, I guess, the words triggered it, and it just was like, well, he used too many cuss words or whatever, or inappropriate words in his paragraph, so we're going to delete it without looking at the grammar of it.
Right.
So yeah, that's grammar checkers is old. Like you used to have a grammar checker back in the 90s, but it was horrible back then.
Yeah.
Actually, like that was actually with 98. What window was that? Windows 98.
Windows 98. That was right after I remember the big thing used to be getting a word processor. Remember that? It was like, well, really, it was just getting a computer, but we was like, now you gotta get a word processor. That was like the new typewriter. A word processor. And then all of a sudden Windows and all that stuff came out. It's like word processors was nothing but just weights. It was like typewriter and word processor had like a 5-year run where it was like, yo, we gotta get a word processor, B. And it is like computer. Word processor is like, oh.
In college, I had I had a typewriter.
Yeah.
And I used to program it to I had a programmable typewriter. So I used to program my
I remember those you could program like certain words and stuff in.
Yeah, so that I could go back and fix it. But you had to count where you messed up at or something like that in order to fix any errors and stuff.
Yeah.
And so by 91 or 92, I was able to get into use Word on the Macintoshes because they had a Mac Lab.
Yeah.
And they had Word on it. So Word goes back a ways, but you had to fight other students in order to, because it was only maybe 8 machines in the whole school or something like that.
Yeah.
But now every student got a iPad in their hands with grammar checker, word checker, and everything on it.
It's crazy. Crazy.
So,
I still don't know shit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, as a kid, I probably would have always broke my pad, no lie. I'd have had to have one of them big ass rubber bumpers like this fucking thick on my shit. I'd have broke my shit like every day and whatnot. But if I didn't break it, that'd have been my favorite goddamn thing to do. Is like anytime I had a question about anything, I would just be like, can the president? Well, I don't know. Let's check. Okay, guys. No, the president can't do that. That's illegal. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple stuff like that. Like, crazy.
I still don't use Siri. Like, it's amazing to me because the kids, they do. Boom talk to Siri like he's the robot from the Jetsons,
Like, that's his people's. Like, I use Siri like when I'm truly on some hands-free stuff, or if I don't feel like sifting through my phone to find the app. Like, if I know I'm about to go, I was like, dang, I want some McDonald's right quick. I know I'm walking downstairs to get McDonald's, and I don't feel like looking for the app on my phone because I don't open it every single day. Because usually apps like that, I don't know if the phone does it automatically, but it seems like it kind of either will offload them or put them like in like little side boxes. You know what I mean? So an app that I was using for a while, I'll go back and look for it. I'm like, I don't even know what a goddamn app is. So I'm like, yo, Siri, McDonald's app. You know what I mean? Oh, yo, Siri. Like, so that's what I really use it for. Or if I got like a quick question like Siri, plantations in Georgia. Little quick stuff, but I'm not talking to Siri like all the time. But I could see its use. If I was a kid though, I could see me using Siri almost like a what were those friends called? An imaginary friend?
Yeah.
I could see me using Siri almost like that.
Yep.
Like if I was bored, I'll just talk to Siri for 30 minutes. Yeah.
I'm still like, I want an iPad. But even on my phone, I actually still type everything. I don't even use the dictator.
Yeah.
So I'll write a whole, 2-3 pages.
Yeah.
With my fingers, and then it'll dawn on me. It was like, why don't I just say it and then go back and edit it? Kind of a thing. I just, it's just a habit of me rather typing it than telling the computer.
Yeah, no, I picked that up. I had to pick that habit up because since I'm still doing the jokes and shit now.
Yeah.
And whatnot, anytime I come in with ideas, little TV shows, or like when I'm doing little videos, when I was doing my cat poop videos consistently, which I'm about to get back on doing, refreshed. I kind of was burned out. But that's how I get all my quick ideas. Because, you know, you usually come up with your ideas while you're out or about, or you maybe laid back, you had a couple drinks, or it's like the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, and you're watching something and you're like half asleep. You're about to roll back over, just like, bloop, la, 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 bloop, bang. All right, I go look at that, you know, tomorrow or the day after. Damn it, I just broke my coffee cup. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something that was amazing. So I was sitting here messing with my little reefer, my tobacco pipe, because that's just for tobacco use only. And I had just drank some coffee, and I was swinging my hands around just now, and this slung out of my hand over that way, and it banged into this cup. Look what it just did to this cup. Amazing. Usually, you know what I thought when I heard the crack and break? I thought this broke. No, this just broke that. So I guess this is a good example of how white supremacy took over Africa. Done it? This little white thing took over this big black and brown thing and then broke it. So if you ever wanted to see white supremacy versus, you're like, how did they take over Africa? Well, here you go. Look at it. Little white thing hits the right spot. Big black Africa broke. Problem solved. Don't ask me anything else about history ever again in life, because I will tell you to go find your tobacco pipe and run it into your coffee cup. And that's not a sexual reference, even though that's how we got the loving court case back in Virginia. All right. So that's good. Any other concept, technological concerns? Or things you're excited about?
I'm just trying to show a lot of patience right now, and I'm being back into just playing with the, I found my screwdriver set, my bit, so I'm just excited and getting ready to use it,
Oh yeah, I went out and bought me some screwdrivers because I'm thinking about trying to fix. I bought this screwdriver set right here. I'm hoping that some of these are small enough that I can use for the PlayStation. Because I was like, I got one of the bigger ones. I said I'm gonna buy one with a bunch of really, really small tips. So the really, really small ones will probably work, huh?
For the PlayStation, yeah. The set that I have, I can take an iPhone apart with.
Oh, you got the super small joints, you bought.
Yeah.
You got like the glasses type joint.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about getting, but I was like, yeah, because I got that bad boy be over there. PlayStation 4 be humming, Jack. Humming. I'm like, damn, dog, I just turned you on. I didn't cut the Game Boy yet. That's like, I'm hot. Like,
Speaking of the censorship thing again, I'm hearing Xbox is doing the same thing as Facebook now too. Where
what do you
the
mean,
kids,
like what, for the kids talking to each other, or the texting?
Yeah, they giving them strikes and suspensions and everything. So that's a haven of FUM minimum. Them kids be out of control.
Oh yeah, I remember when they first that first Xbox came out, and it was like the first time that everybody was kind of sharing, because they had the GoldenEye and all that stuff or whatever it was, and everybody was kind of sharing and playing each other. And man, I would hop on there to play some of these games, and these little 10-year-old Caucasian males, our cousins, would just be and word this and that your mom is that. I mean, just. I was like, I can't handle this. I want to go fight an 8-year-old. This isn't gonna work, because he can't talk to me like this. So I'm kind of glad they did it, but I kind of feel like I feel like I'm one of the flaggers, being a little punk. Like, man up, So what? They got a little trash talk, but then again, if I go talking trash back to a 10-year-old, I'm gonna crush him in the cussing competition. So it's kind of like taking advantage of like a slow person. So it's like I'm handicapped. Or like if you saw the recent video with Brittany Renner, she was acting a fool at a podcast. All the guys were kind of sitting there like, well, if I touch her or I grab her or tell her to calm down, it's going to be like a Me Too Why are you abusing her lawsuit? So you kind of got to let her run around the room, twerk on your face, pour some water, smack your mics over, and just sit there like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. So that's that. So what can we do about it? No.
I suppose no.
Excellent.
It's kind of weird because you actually pay for that service though. That's what makes it kind of weird.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to talk about. Have you heard this new thing? And this is kind of a technological thing because since the internet has come along with the phones, they basically linked the world musically. So now music can kind of go big all over the world. People keep talking about some dude named Burna Boy. I guess that's his name. He does Afro beats. And have you heard people say this phrase that Afro beats is about to replace hip hop all over the world in the next 5 years? Have you heard this nonsense?
No.
Yeah. So that's the new thing the cats are on and whatnot. Like, even let me pull it up so you can even see, like, when I did a quick search. Because I was like, I kept seeing a couple of people talk about it. I heard a couple of people mention it. But it's mostly people that are not even here in the country. But hip hop versus Afro beats, the shift. And, people like that. What is this one? Expected takeover of Afro beats. What is this? Where's another one? Somebody got other stuff. Afro beats to surpass rap. See, but it's people from other countries. Stuff like that. So the new thing is that they think is going to replace. And I was just like, number one, I'm like, dude, all you got to do is turn on any commercial on any TV show right now. Matter of fact, a commercial can come on in between this YouTube video, and it can be for real estate. And guess what the beat is going to be? What's the beat going to be, Volo?
I don't know. Black Sheep.
I don't know. It's going to be hip hop. That's the point.
Yeah. I thought you were
hip hop. It's like every once in a while there might be a little reggae song or something. But I think what a lot of people from the other places don't understand is hip hop is a basic English type of thing. You could be the corniest of cornballs and rock to a hip hop beat. You can get an old lady at a church. It's like, I love Jesus, and I'm here to say Jesus on the cross, and he did it today. He died for our sins, and he loved the kids. I do it for my babies, and the woman came from man's rib. Like, anybody can do that, but you know what everybody can do? I went to the store, and I went to the shutter. Boy, what the hell did you say? You know what I mean? So unless you're like part of that Caribbean Rastaman patois culture, or you actually want to take the time to focus and really learn the words, because they're speaking English, but it's like patois. So you kind of got to listen. Like, you can't even dance and listen. It's just like, hold up, I got to learn the words so I can't dance. You got to dance in between words or whatnot. Like, all right, hold up, wait, that was a word. Wait. So what they don't understand is that music is not universal enough to replace hip hop. Would you agree?
Well, hip hop is so unique, and I'm really enjoying a lot of the videos that they're making for the 50th anniversary.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of work for that on a lot of channels.
Yeah, they I can't remember the ones that I've been sharing a lot of is where they showing the original samples and showing how they cut it up a little bit and reproducing it. They even gave Aunt Rosha a shout out with
nice.
What's the guy's name? I can't. My bad. He's one of the younger rappers, not Drake or Kendrick. What's the guy from Chicago?
J. Cole.
Cole.
Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah, no, J. Cole. Perfect one. J. Cole used First Choice, but I mean the way he chopped it up was crazy. Like they had to like the raw music without Aunt Rose's voiceover on top of it somehow. So you couldn't really tell it was First Choice, but they gave her props for that track. That track he made with it. I mean, but yeah, but all of them just going through the years and how most of them are 60s and 70s music and how they chop them up and everything is dope and everything, and coming in with the sound and using the MP, the lens, and all the drum machines and stuff over the years to really, create, different our art form, one of our art forms, our main art form. Now, as far as the history, the meaning of the history, and why is it 50 years, and who's the creator of it and everything, and the father of it, and yada yada. That's funny to hear and see non hip hoppers wanna give their take on something, on the government's voice on it, and that's what pisses me off.
Clarify that last statement. I didn't really understand what you meant about the non-hip hoppers take on the government stuff.
Well, I'm as I'm teaching Boom, we came up with the mission statement of hip hop being an American culture created by the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, like Karis One has a book called The Gospel of Hip Hop, where he really stresses Martin Luther King as being our king, you know what I mean, kind of a thing. But he also talks about Malcolm X. So we kind of, so I kind of started with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and then another one is Kwame Ture. So it's like that's the triad that I use to say, okay, there's our elders, our oratorical elders that we need to.
Now, question. Even though Martin Luther King and them, I guess, gave the more revolutionary spin on things, would you say that like the guys that were like Pygmy Markham, I guess Isaac Hayes was a little bit late. He was right at Martin Luther King. But those guys are kind of, them guys got, yeah, man, I'm a bad mofo. And you ain't going to talk to me because I'll have you out there running slow. And, even the pimps used to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, if my hoe don't get on the track, I'm going to tell her, you better stay 10 toes down or I'm going to give you a smack. You know what I mean? That stuff was kind of around even way before Martin, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you like Chris Books really emphasizes that. One of the ones one of the elders that he talk about is H. Rap Brown. He has a book called Die Nigga Die back in the day. Mm-hmm. But he talks about how in the don't quote me the exact year, the 1940s or 50s, mm-hmm. In Louisiana, how they used to come, used to do this rap of a pimp, uh-huh. And then how it was used in a movie, and I got to look this information up. But I shared a little video clip of him explaining it, and then in the movie, the guy was used to rap, and then it went all the way up to the Sugar Hill Gang, where I'm Hank the Bank and I'm Lady Swank, like from the Rapper's Delight. He says the exact same rhyme from what H. Rap Brown used back in the day. You know what I mean? Going all the way back to the 1940s and 50s,
Yeah, so, that's the one thing I tell young people, like what you just said right there about the coincidence, because I'm sure the guy that Hank the Bank stole the rap from, because I remember that other guy actually wrote it and he stole it for that song. He basically janked the guy for the song and cut him off the rap and took it himself. That guy probably never even heard that, or maybe he heard that as a kid or whatever. But I tell people that musically, I think they said there's only 12 different musical notes. Only 12. And whatnot. And ironically, in my psychology studies, I found out that there's only around 12 to 14 different personalities. Ironically, 12 astrological signs, 12 months of the year, 12 disciples. I'm done. Don't get me started, right? I could go on for hours about this 12 thing, the 12-13 thing, that kind of stuff. But I got lost in what I was talking about with the the whole young people thing. There's nothing new. So you know how like people listen to Sexy Red now and they're like, oh, Sexy Red got bars. She doing it like y'all never did it. I was like, I can guarantee you I could probably go back and find a freestyle of Little Kim trying that nasty stuff for the first time 25 years ago. And I bet you it is probably pattern for pattern, word for word, pound town. You know what I mean? And it's not because they stole it. It's just that there's only but so many places that humans can go when it comes to patternization, stuff like that. we just give it our own twist, but eventually, though, just like that Threads app, eventually those lines are going to cross and intersect over time. That was deep. Oh, I got a question too. I had thought about when you were talking about the history thing.
Good.
Did you ever think that hip hoppers now, like KRS, one of them, ever sat down and had an out loud talk about how they blew having the financial hold on hip hop?
Yes, and they're still working on it.
Because I noticed now they're doing that whole the retirement fund kind of thing, right?
Well, we're unionizing now, so they created this union called the Hip Hop Alliance.
Yeah, the Hip Hop Alliance. That's like the
Yeah.
new thing. And it's just like, damn, like we were making songs like all in the same gang and one for all, one for one. KRS One helped start the fight. It was the Stop the Violence movement with Melody or whatever that name was, the Melody chick back in the day. And never once did they come and say, yo, maybe we should unionize.
They, you know, what I mean, now we're talking politics again.
I mean, it's just,
and that's where it gets, and I kind of started, because I hit the reset button on, you know, what a tautology is, and et cetera, but going back to just the choice of to be or not to be, and that's why I've reintroduced the ADOS versus FBA, because it's like, let me go back on my research on it. Like we keep talking about, even I was just watching the other guy talking about reparations. What's this? I keep forgetting his name again. The guy, you know, the Indian guy.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
No, the brother, the Niji, our Niji brother, the one that blocked me on Twitter.
Ooh, Dane Calloway?
Yeah, Dane Calloway. Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter.
As he should. I'll repeat that every time you say it, as he should. Good job, Dane. Way to get him.
But you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, it's you type those things up and you get a lot of information, and most, you know, the elder Democrats don't have a clue, but you know, there are so-called Black Caucus leaders. And then that's what I was saying. That's where I was leading to when talking about, you know, well, you know, for a hip hopper, we grew up together with Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, KRS One, you know, Cool G Rap, you know, Slick Rick, et cetera. We can go to names going on, and that's just the East Coast there. And then, you know, you got NWA and Ice-T and all them on the West Coast, and then the Southerners came up with Master P and all them. So, you know, and I can't forget Atlanta, the underground, your boys, me
Outkast.
and you, Outkast and CeeLo and them.
Top 5.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I love all of them. We see, you know, when talking to the people today on all right, it's the 50th anniversary, they're taking the same talking points that Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson took in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where we're getting into trouble. You know, Jesse, you know, was the first to really run for president and try to take the mantle of what King was, you know, pursuing politically. And, you know, we as hip hoppers came together to try to help him get into the White House in 84 and 88. But then in the 90s, since he was done, it was, you know, he became like an anti-hip hop person. So he's been, you know, he's the old uncle that, you know, that's been dissing us. and we have a similar issue now with Al Sharpton on the left, and you know, who's on the right? What's his name? That was on the what's the name show? Larry Elder and shit.
Oh yeah. You know he out here with us. I'm gonna tell you, don't never trust no black man that don't got no beard. Yeah, after about 27 years old, if you don't got no beard, you a coon and a traitor in my eyes. I'm sorry, a raccoon. Sorry, we can't use that C word. Raccoon.
Yeah, that's why I got to erase it from
Can't use the C word. That is now considered a meta strike.
yeah.
Like what? Like how? Who told y'all what that means? Like we know. Like I can't even put BAS up there. The boys like we know who Mr. BAS is too. Oh my god,
Yeah. Yeah, they put my post back up there, but and Coon is still in it. But you know, then now they not sharing my stuff right now. Like nah.
Oh yeah, they definitely put it to the back. That's why I'll be going in on people about likes and stuff like that. Because you know what pisses me off about technology? It's just kind of like how politics work. Because the main guys either have names or money or stuff like that, people pay them attention, people vote for them, people interview them. They actually consider them an option, not because the person actually has any great ideas or any great values or any moral standing or any relationship to them, but simply because Larry Elder is known, we see Larry Elder on the show. Vivek Ramaswamy, like me, does not have a day of political skill. How the hell you gonna walk out in your late 30s and 40s, be from another country, you don't even know nothing past 1995, and you're getting interviewed on the Breakfast Club. and you know how many black people would pick him over me? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For no other reason that he's known, you know what I mean? And that's the same thing with the rest of the stuff that's going on out here. It's just like everything's all messed up.
Yeah.
All messed up.
Yeah, I didn't even know Cube was on the Breakfast Club. You know, because when he was doing his tour, like he was on there like a week or two before he was on the you know, the White Bull show, you know, news anchor.
Tucker?
Yeah, before he was on with Tucker, he was on the Breakfast Club, but they ain't
saying Tucker Carlson's name just gets me upset. I just feel like I'm already in an argument with him for no reason. He just knows how to just push your buttons, man. Like, oh, Tucker, that just got started in fist fight.
That's because they give him that love. They promote him. That interview that he did with Trump is like top 5 all time broadcasts.
Oh yeah, he was going ham, man. He be going ham, man. Like, don't give that boy Tucker Carlson a chance, man. He going to be up there like, yeah. Why wouldn't Oprah like you, Ice Cube? I don't know. You're successful. You're African American. You're doing so well. I mean, if I was Oprah, you'd be one of the people I put up there all the time. I wonder why Oprah doesn't do that. Like, Tucker, you need to go out back. like he cool, like he's just Mr. Pro Black all of a sudden.
They know what they're doing because they couldn't get nobody to watch the Republican thing, and then Trump just went on Tucker and blew the Twitter up and shit.
Oh man, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm going to jail next week, but it ain't no big thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dog. Just to speak on that, and it's another example of technology. Like, he don't even got to go to do the debates. All he got to do is sit back. That the advertisements of all the cases and charges they're putting, that's the promotion for his presidential run right there.
Yeah.
Every time they say, yo, we added 20 more counts, he's got like 97 counts or something in like 4 states right now. And I'm just like, dog, if you need 97 counts, I suspect that 96 of them are trash. You know what I'm saying? And that 97th one that they got him on is like for like eating a candy bar with his hands instead of like using a fork. Like, all right, what are you gonna do? Well, that's a $3 fine. I told you he's a criminal. Yeah, I'm like, they don't even.
It's hilarious because nobody's getting the jokes and stuff. That's why it's like, I mean, y'all got to be kidding me on some of this stuff, man.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to do what you remember Al Capone. When they got him, they didn't have him on anything. So they just started throwing everything. I call it throwing shit on the wall until you try to make something stick.
Yeah.
And then with him, tax evasion stuck. Finally. You know what I mean? So that's what they're trying to do with Trump and pretty much anybody else that they do this to around the world. They throw enough stuff at you to say, okay, if you slip up anywhere defending any of these 97 fastballs I just threw you, like in baseball, you know, all we wait for you is to throw one weak one. So, but if you miss one, you strike out, and we got you. So that's what they're trying with him. And this is what they do to a lot of people. Like they say, they overcharge African Americans a lot for crimes and whatnot. Then their counterparts from other groups. That's one of the things. They'll give the people from other groups a little pity, give them 1, 2, 3 charges. But a lot of African Americans will get 5, 6, 7, 8 charges. And then now, if they had 2 or 3, they might have beat those 2 or 3, but they might not be able to beat 7. You know what I mean? And that's how they get a lot of minorities to be in jail too.
Yeah.
Overcharge them. We can't beat them all down like people that got money. Because if you got a rich lawyer, you got money, he'll beat them down for you. But if you don't, you got the public defender who don't care, or it's your cousin Tyrone who just got out of law school, like, I know what I'm doing. It's like, what kind of law did you do? Well, I did trademark law. Oh shit, Tyrone, we're going to jail. Trademark law, Tyrone. Why did you tell me you could take this case? I shot 3 people. Jesus Christ. Ridiculous. You know what I also noticed? Did you notice that on the screen, the logo up there, it's kind of like if I stand up, the logo actually has the head and body on my side, and on your side, you're like the head for the body of the wizard. That's dope. That's dope. It looks almost intentional. That's hilarious. Great. Let's see what else we got here. And we did mention first. Let's see. You mentioned first. I said, let me.
What was that? No. I heard one analyst say that the game plan is to get him on the stand, to kind of get him on the stand, like what was the name of the movie? I had the thought in my head.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was something. God, the one with my man Jack Nicholson.
Y'all can't be serious, yo. Y'all can't be serious that y'all think y'all gonna get him on the stand to get him to confess to some shit on some Jack Nicholson type shit.
Yeah, like you're right. And the fact is, number one, Trump's not even taking a stand.
But he still don't care because he's sending out tweets calling Biden a rigger.
Yeah. Yo, he's wild with that one. He's wild with that one, dog. It's like, dude, this is why you wasn't the president last time. Stop. Just sit back and shut up and wait for the votes, dude. You already are winning. Don't you know that? He is the only. He went at Andy Reid, first and 1 on the goal line with 2 inches to go. Play action. 4th down and goal. We haven't gotten a yard yet. Play action. Come on, Andy. You're not going to run it one time. You got it once, Andy. Just run it once. That's Trump. Trump is Andy. He's not going to run that shit one time on the goal line. He will keep me like, play action. Yo, I'm going to do a rollout with Nick Foles because I'm using speed. What?
Let me sell this one. But imagine a commercial with Biden going N-word, and then Trump coming across with an R on his chest and ripping his chest R off his chest.
Right.
Like Letterman, rigger.
Right.
He might get my vote then.
Right. So you mentioned some of the first people to run for president. I was like, dude, let me look at the list and see all the list of African-American United States presidential and vice presidential candidates. Of course, we have 1 real one and 2 fake ones in the main screen there with Barrack and that chick. Colin Powell. I forgot Colin Powell was in there for a little bit. He got his nominee for a second. Then I guess he didn't win. And then here's some of the guys that actually ran.
He ran for president?
Colin Powell?
Yeah.
It looks like he did. African-American presidential nominees showing running mate and electoral votes received. So he ran, but he got some votes, but he didn't win.
Oh, okay.
He got some votes, but he didn't win.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, he got some votes, but didn't win. And here is actually a list of all of our previous presidential nominees and candidates going all the way back to 1904. Which Mr. George Edwin Taylor, Clinton King, Clinton DeBerry, Eldridge Cleaver.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That's Dick Gregory ran back in 68.
Yeah.
And whatnot, Charlene Mitchell, Margaret Wright. So we got a couple of sisters up in here back in the 60s and 70s. And whatnot, looks like Charlene was the first woman. Because Clinton's that's a dude. And let's see us, Andrew Pulley, Larry Holmes, the boxer. It must be. Maybe not. I don't know. Did Larry? That has to be Larry Holmes, the boxer. Dennis Surratt, Edward Wynn, Lenora Fulani. She got a nice name. She got a name that sounds like the government's gonna be like, oh hell no, we're not letting this motherfucker win. The New Alliance Party. Oh no, Miss Lenora Fulani, we gonna send you to Guantanamo. You sound like you revolutionary out this month. James Warren, Edward Wynn backing again. He keep trying. They like me. They keep trying poor things. Helen Haylard, James Harris, Monica Moorhead, Isabel Masters since '96. James Harris, Monica Moorhead. So we have had our fair share of runners.
Chisholm wasn't on there?
Huh?
Was Chisholm on there back in the... I ain't see her name.
I did not see Shirley Chisholm, but maybe because she ran and didn't get the vote, didn't officially get votes or whatever. Because I think this is only people that like received votes or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Who the hell is President R19 Body? What is that? Oh, this dude. Princess Khadijah Jacob Fambro. Oh, hell no, Princess. I'm not bumming for shit over there. And of course, Kanye West.
He got on there. He made the list.
Candidates, you see, yeah, he's on there in 2020. Kanye West. Boom. And his running mate was Michelle Tidball. And I guess these are the VP candidates that got votes. So we had a few black VPs, a lot of similar names, a lot of other different names. Of course, Ye was up there too. Now here's some other candidates. So they got Frederick Douglass, and them used to run back in the 1848s. Here you go, Shirley Chisholm, 1972, and whatnot. She got 152 votes at the National Convention. So there you go, 72. Walter Fauntleroy, Jesse Jackson in 84 and 88, and whatnot. Alan Keyes, Isabel Master, Al bitch ass Sharpton, Alan Keyes again, Willie Wilson, Herman Cain, who they made sure he was dead by now. Ben Carson, they working on killing him. Cory Booker, well, we can't all be lucky enough for everybody to be getting killed.
Oh, jeez.
That boy's a plan.
Cory Booker?
Oh, I don't trust him as far as I can throw the boy. If I can throw him 6 inches, that's all he got. No, Corey. And then we got some other people: Frederick Douglass, Joy Mount, Shirley Chisholm getting names shout out. All right, so there you go. Some new information there. Excellent. Let's check out some current technology that's going on right now. See what this technology news is talking about. Bring up some of this here. Let's see what it looks like on screen. Good. All right, let's see what we got going up here. Let's see. Nobody cares about digital velocity, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to view all. It's supposed to be current technology stories. So let's see what they're talking about here. All right, let's see what RILM is. RILM, what is it and what can it do for your cloud costs? Reserved Instance Lifecycle Management empowers businesses to leverage the cloud while keeping the thumb on associated cost. The hell is this bullshit? So basically, let's read. The 2 primary benefits of RILM are reduced costs. By managing your RIs and CUDs effectively, you can ensure that you are always taking advantage of the best possible discount. Increased predictability. RIs and CUDs provide. Okay, so this sounds like some technological stuff so rich motherfuckers can get more money out of regular motherfuckers. I don't like whatever RILM is already. That shit makes me angry. Let's see what we got going on right here. K through 12 districts must build sustainable long-term device programs. So this is like you were talking about with the pad, how the kids are, I guess if you give them a pad in the first grade, they would theoretically have that pad from K through 9, right?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. So this is, I guess they're talking about best practices. Let's see what they're talking about here. Between 20 and 2021, the percentage of K-12 districts managing more than 7,500 devices jumped from 1/3 to nearly half. Only 6% of districts supporting fewer than 1,000 devices. These numbers show how dramatically the pandemic changed remote learning and the devices that made it possible. Here are two more revealing numbers. The Federal Communications Commission Emergency Connectivity Fund earmarked approximately $7.2 billion to help schools purchase nearly 13 million connected devices. That support helped schools weather the worst of the crisis. But what happens now? Across the country, district leaders are asking how will they support, manage, and at some point replace those laptops and tablets. Wow, I never thought about that. This could be a big fight. We might have to go back to books on these little niggas. Like, look, man, here, take this book. Shut up. We can't afford this computer shit. You don't get a computer until you're in college because y'all break shit. That would be what I would say. So that's an interesting thing. And so we kind of get the gist of this, that's now becoming an issue. So what do you think about that scenario, Willow, that giving out all the pads and technology is going to eventually need a replacement and maintenance scenario? How do you think that's going to affect schools and possibly the economy?
The maintenance?
Well, think about it. Not only do the kids break them, right?
Yeah.
And whatnot, but then eventually, due to the advancement of technology, every 2 to 4 years, they're going to be out of date. So now you got to give them new, faster processing ones.
Yeah, and no.
Or upgrade, you know?
Yeah, he did. I'm trying to think his very first. I think he's on his third one, so he is in the 7th grade. He got a brand new one. Oh, he actually got his brand new one in 5th grade. So he took the same one for 5th, 6th, and then he still got it this year.
So they keep him for about 2-3 years, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's a good example, you know, right there of like the fact that not only do you got to have like the IT department to maintain them while you got them, but every 3 years or so you're gonna have to refresh out new equipment. So
yeah, they're easily refurbishable though now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that they're refurbishing the hell out of everything.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they're using Apple, so 10 to 1. These are like leftover ones anyway. Like
like aftermarket joints.
Yeah,
makes sense. Well, now hopefully they keep that program going. I'm sure Apple is cleaning up as they don't pay any taxes in America.
Yeah, that too.
Cleaning up, and this is why I keep telling people like refuse it because they think of like communism and socialism. But I was like, there isn't really a way that you can fix the trade imbalance or the taxes to make all these companies come back because it's just too lucrative for them to be outside the country keeping the tax money. So I said the American government should start making like their own company to compete. Like, because the government has free land, free building, they have all the scientists, technology, and plans. You know, the government has a cell phone plan sitting on in a cut. They got a plan for a little army pad sitting in a cut. They got a plan for a TV, remote control, a car. You know, the government has all that just sitting there. Just never even used it. And the reason that people don't think that governments don't get into business, it is not because they're going to cheat or hurt the other businesses. It's because the government has an unfair advantage in business. They don't have to buy land. They don't have to pay taxes to anybody. They don't have to pay anybody for certifications or passage. They already have all their technology people hired and figure out they don't have to do any R&D whatsoever. They have empty army bases all over the country that they can just walk into and say, hey, we're using this today. It's nobody here. Companies can't compete with that. And that's the real reason why the government doesn't get into the capitalist market. But that is the reason why we need to save America. Carl Anthony for president, by the way. So that's that. But anyway, they'll just call me Hitler. Whatever. Well, that's fine. Or Chairman Mao. They'll call me Chairman Mao Jong-un. They'll call me. I'm like, I'm just trying to fix the country and give us good jobs. It's like, no, you're not. You're a socialist. It's like, no, I'm a capitalist that wants to kick other capitalist butts for not loving us. So good. So that's current technology. We got about 30 minutes left in the show. Any technology topics on your brain?
I'm trying to think of some programs and stuff. I don't know. I am I'm picking back up my Rubik's Cube again. So I'm not, I don't know. Other than that, just some of the hobbies and things that's going on. I don't know what else to elaborate beyond that right now.
Well, we probably should just get into our tech
Check
wars.
the chat. What is anything going on in the chats?
Oh shit, I don't know. I'm munching them now. I don't see no new red dots. Ain't nobody thinking about that chat. Ain't nobody having this bitch. I don't got no new red dots.
We ain't announced that we was coming on today, huh?
It don't matter. I mean, it's supposed to be. And I can set it up also my Twitch, like to schedule a show, but I don't care. But that's not my point. My rule is just keep making it, because like I said, when I go back and look at them, there's posts on everything. Like even on my Twitch, some of them have 40 views, 13 views, 15 views, stuff like that. The Facebook one gets a lot of views because I guess, Facebook is really good at pushing videos in front of people. So that one be 50 views. Some of them got 100 views, stuff like that. The worst one's got 40 views, 30 views. So even if only us and 1 or 2 or 5 other people watch it now, over the course of the next week to 2 weeks, like another 20 or 30 people going to see the show.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it. So and then if it ever gets popular, you know what people do? They go back and watch all the old ones.
Okay.
Well, so that's how I look at it. Well, we got our tech lord of the week, Mr. Nikola Tesla, and an empty chat room. So what? We didn't want you guys to chat anyway. So now, I wasn't paying attention anyway. So now I wouldn't have seen your chat anyway. Ha! Take that. But we got our tech lord of the week, Mr. Nikola Tesla. I'm just looking for a video to do a quick review. This one's about 12 minutes long. I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to do a short, quick breakdown review. Let me pause this bad boy. We're going to take it from a channel called NewsThink. Let me make sure I give them their credit. One moment here. And play a little music while I'm working on that. And anything you want to say while I'm looking up stuff?
No. Where did the music come from?
It's me, background.
Okay.
I just play it when I'm looking for stuff because I figure it's kind of quiet. Dead air. Hate that, all right, son. So anytime I'm looking around for stuff and I'm not really talking, I was like, let me get some music on so at least there's like something, I'll get my stuff together here. So I want to get my fair use stuff set up. I'm ready to watch that theme park shit again. I'm like, that shit was hype. Roller coaster!
Yeah, I'm in a dungeon. I just went full circle and can't figure it out again. Yeah, and I'm hoping we can do some great adventures. That'll be dope. Get crying ill duck on the roller coaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you said you trying to get that. You was trying to track them to go on the Six Flags, huh?
Yeah. That's why we went to. That's why we went to Hershey because. That's the one we were talking about going to. We were talking about going to Great Adventure together.
Yeah.
And then at one point, right, it's just me and Boom in the whole just looking at our people while we walk into the whole park and everything.
Mm-hmm.
At one point we got into this line for this ride called Great Bear, which is basically like a extra height Batman. If you remember Batman from Six Flags Great Adventure, it was four brothers in front of us, elder guys. They might have been 60, young 60s. Mm-hmm. They might have been high 50s or young 60s, but it was like four neighborhood brothers, went to the park together to get on the rides together, kind of a thing, which was kind of cute. But other than that, it was, just mama chasing a bunch of kids. Me and Boom was like the only father, son, the whole park was black.
In the park, yeah. Yeah, it's rare. I think about that. I never even thought about that. Like when I go to Six Flags, I don't think I've ever seen just like a black dad with his kids.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I was there. I never thought about that. I'm trying to think. I was like, you'll see families and stuff like that, and groups of kids. But it's usually like if it's a family, it's usually like the full family. But you usually don't see like And you would think that would be a trip that a lot of single dads would pull. Like, hey, shit, mom's a punk bitch. You want to get on roller coasters with pops this weekend? That'd be my gig. That'd be like my favorite snacks. Like, oh my god, yeah, I love hanging with mom, but me and daddy goes and do fun stuff. We go wild roller coasters and watch him get drunk and fight. He lets me drive to the house when he's drunk. Better you drive than me. I would be a terrible father with him. It's gonna be great. Cop's gonna pull it over. It's gonna be like a 10-year-old boy, little girl behind the wheel, and I'll be sitting in the passenger. She's like, "What? Drives better than I would, officer. Come on. Go ahead, baby. You got it." Both going to jail. CPA, CHS, and everybody. So let's check out our Tech Lord of the Week. We got going on here, Mr. Nikola Tesla. We got a great video from Newsthink. They got a short bio. So we'll stop a little bit here and there to show them their fair use respects, transform the elements of the video and things like that. Matter of fact, just to increase the transformativeness, I'm going to add the StreamYard's overlay too, because the more stuff we got on the screen, the more it helps to transcribe the reviewed material to make it fair use worthy. So let's get that back up here. Let's see. I'll put us to the side so you can see more of the screen themselves. All right. And let's check out our Tech Lord of the Week, Mr. Nikola Tesla. And Newsthink is going to tell us a little bit about it.
When you think about the greatest inventors of all time, there are a few names that come to mind. Henry Ford, the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison. But there's one name that is
named 2 more Tech Lords of the Week for the next 2 weeks.
When you plug your phone in, turn on the lights, or use the refrigerator, you have Nikola Tesla to thank. This is the story of the forgotten genius, and the story begins at the end. On January 7, 1943, a maid working at the New Yorker Hotel walked into room 3327, where she found the body of an 86-year-old man who called the hotel home for the past decade. Tesla died alone and broke. He lived off a diet of warm milk and crackers and was obsessed with feeding the pigeons outside. One of the greatest inventors of all time faded into obscurity and died penniless. There is a reason why this happened, which will become clear by the end of this story. Tesla was born in the town of Smiljan in present-day Croatia on July 10, 1856. He was born during a lightning storm. According to family legend, the midwife said halfway through the birth, "This child will be a child of darkness," to which his mother replied, "No, he will be a child of light." Little did she know how prophetic those words would be. When Tesla was 5, he witnessed his older brother fall from a horse and later die. This would haunt him for the rest of his life. As a child, he began seeing visions accompanied.
VOLO, when Boom was born, did anything weird happen?
He's a preemie, so yeah, it was.
He said, "Let me the hell out of here! I'm getting out of this bitch."
It was an eventful birth.
There you go. Did he have to stay in the hospital after he came out?
Yeah, for a good month.
Oh, until he got like bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
He's still getting bigger though.
Yeah. Not even a month, maybe 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Did he come out normal color or did he have the jaundice?
He listen, man, he was long. So he was a big baby.
Color wise though, like me, I was born with a jaundice, so I was that bright yellow when I was born.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Now I suspect that people that are born with the jaundice were actually hybrid alien babies, and our mother was impregnated not by her father, but by an alien who simply looked like my dad that night. That would explain why I am not the same size as anyone in my family, except for Uncle Norman, who I also believe has always been an alien since day one. Because Uncle Norman is crazy. He about 6'6" and nuts.
By flashes of light, confusing what was real and what was imaginary. This never went away. The vision spurred his ability to conceive inventions in his head in such detail that he didn't even need to draw them out. He explained how the designs
Damn, I
were
wish I had a
perfected
memory
in his
like that.
mind in an article in
That
1919.
trap man. What
Invariably,
do they
my
call it?
device
A
works as I
photographic
conceived
memory?
that it should,
Man,
and the experiment comes out exactly as I planned it. In 20 years, there has not been a single exception.
they say Jay-Z can do this, and this is why he's so good at rapping. He can. They say Biggie could do it, but Biggie did it in pieces. They said Jay-Z could sit there and write a whole rap in his head, and then get up and spit it exactly how he thought it out, and still 5, 7, 8 years later spit that same rap, word for word. He's got like a photographic memory, and that's why he became known as Mr. One Take Jigga. He basically in the 20s would have been a numbers runner, a numbers man who remembered everybody's numbers that he hustled.
Tesla credits his mom for his interest in invention. Juka
Tesla
Mandich
was the
invented
Jay-Z of
small
this shit.
household appliances in her spare time. She had an
He might have
eidetic
been a bitch
memory,
ass nigga
the
like Jigga
ability
too,
to
but that's a whole
recall an
other story.
image from memory with high precision, and she passed this on to her son. Tesla's father was a priest and wanted him to become one too, but Tesla was interested in engineering. When he contracted cholera as a teen and nearly died, his father promised to send him to engineering school if he survived, and miraculously, he did. He went to study in Austria at the Technical College of Graz, where he is said to have worked from 3 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day. Professors were worried that he would die from exhaustion. Tesla had a beautiful mind. He could perform calculus in his head and spoke 8 languages. He was a good student at the start, but would not finish school. He dropped out after becoming addicted to gambling and cut ties with his family so they wouldn't find out. His friends didn't know what happened to him either. They genius.
Oh,
And
shit,
the story begins at the end. On January, Tesla's manager offered him a job at Edison generating electricity using alternating current.
I hit the wrong button. Damn it.
And professors
There
were
you go.
his friends didn't know what happened to him either.
I hit the wrong button. My bad, y'all.
He could perform
I'm at the
calculus in his
pause it.
head.
Now, you notice how they said he could do calculus in his head. He was super smart. How the fuck was you bad at gambling, my nigga? How you bad at gambling in 1920 something? It's not even like, okay, now they got the robots and the computers and all the gadgets. No, Tesla, it was 1920 something. Best they had was a card up their sleeve, bro. He should have been counting cards. Like, why? He should have been the card counting king. But it just shows, like, I put up a post the other day, and I said that people think that, oh, some people are stupid or everybody isn't smart. And I said everybody has their own type of intelligence. They may not use their intelligence properly, and that's what makes people smart or dumb. They don't use the skill that they've been given by maybe the universe or God or whoever you want to call it is. But another group of people, they use it in circumstances. Genius is circumstantial. A man can do calculus in his head, but he can't play blackjack. You get what I'm saying? He can do calculus in his head, but he can't manage his money.
Yeah.
Like, he can do an invention in his brain, but he can't remember to pay a bill in hotels in New York. So genius is circumstantial. So anytime you go to discard somebody, because there's a lot of very numb-brained people we meet in the world, but in the right circumstance, just like Kelly Bundy or what was that chick, Pamela Anderson, that used to be on that show? These little dingbats have moments of genius, and every human has that potential. So love people. Everybody has the possibility. Now, past that, yes, most people are dumb, but they're just not using their potential. They have genius in them, and that's what frustrates me. People are wasting their genius. Back to Tesla.
And spoke 8 languages. He was a good student at the
8
start,
languages.
but would not finish school.
I can't speak
He
one.
dropped out after becoming addicted to gambling and cut ties with his
Let's say
family so they
Yamin.
wouldn't find out. His friends didn't know what happened to him either. They thought he drowned in a river. Tesla moved around Europe and eventually ended up in Budapest working as an electrician at a telephone company. While walking around a park in the city one day, he had an epiphany about developing a new way of generating electricity using alternating current. It would be his greatest invention that would change the world. I'll explain more about AC a little later. In 1882, he settled in Paris to work for the French branch of Thomas Edison's electric company. He started off installing indoor lighting, but the managers noticed his talents and had him doing more complicated work, designing and building dynamos and motors. He was soon traveling throughout Europe, fixing problems at other Edison branches. 2 years later, in 1884, Tesla's manager offered him a job at Edison Machine Works in New York City. He agreed and arrived in America with only 4 cents in his pocket because his money was stolen on the boat ride over.
Do you think while he was working there, he was low-key hating on Edison?
Oh yeah.
Like, yo, this dude, he swears he's shot. Yo, wait until they see what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Tesla initially had a good impression of Edison. Edison was also impressed by Tesla, later saying, "I have had many hardworking assistants, but you take the cake."
Well, there you go.
This mutual admiration didn't last. They would
It didn't
become
last.
rivals. The two men disagreed over how electricity should be contained and delivered. Edison
AC/DC.
preferred direct current, which is a system where the electric charge only flows in one direction. Tesla was a fan of alternating current, in which the electric charge changes direction periodically. Changing directions is crucial to maintaining a steady supply of electricity because it does not overpower outlets. This means it can provide more power and transmit power over longer distances. It's the reason AC powers our homes and other large appliances, whereas DC powers smaller items like flashlights. But Edison didn't
That's
care
right.
about
That's right.
AC
You ain't nothing but a
because it couldn't
flashlight,
fund the
Edison.
sales
You
of
ain't nothing but
direct
that light
current
bulb,
since he
cut.
owned all the patents for DC.
Take your game
According
up,
to
folks.
Tesla, a manager at Edison's company offered him a $50,000 bonus if he could improve some machines that ran on DC. When he did, the manager refused to pay up. Another account of the story has Edison telling Tesla, "You don't understand our American humor." Regardless of how it played out, Tesla quit and set off to form his own electric
Yo,
company the
pause,
following year in
pause.
1885. But his investors
Did you hear that bullshit Edison tried to pull on him?
Yeah.
Because you know, Edison was an American, Tesla was an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
So he probably looked down on him a little bit. So he said some slick shit to the boy, like, "Yeah, bitch ass niggas from where y'all from can't read and shit. Y'all stink." And Tesla was like, "Yo, what the fuck you say, pussy?" He's like, "Oh, you just don't understand our American humor." Tesla's like, "Oh no, fuck this, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out." That's what Tesla said. Fuck your American humor.
showed little interest and decided to take the company and all of Tesla's patents, which they could do because Tesla had assigned the patents to the company in exchange for stock, which was now worthless. After losing his company, Tesla had to take a job digging ditches for $2 a day just to survive.
$2.
But his fortunes would change. In 1887, Tesla invented an induction motor that ran on alternating current.
Man,
The
$2 a
motor
day
was
is
the most
good money.
efficient way to convert electricity to mechanical power. A version of it powers Tesla's vehicles, which took its name from the inventor. He patented the motor and showed it off the following year at the American Institute of Electrical Engineers. That caught the attention of George Westinghouse, a major player in the electric market who realized Tesla's AC motor might just be what he needed to complete his alternating current system and compete against Edison's DC system. So Tesla licensed the patents for the AC motor to Westinghouse for $60,000 and also received stock and royalties. Westinghouse hired him as a consultant for $2,000 a month, which is the equivalent of over $50,000 a month today. The war of the currents began. Edison tried hard to try to discredit Westinghouse and Tesla. He secretly financed the electric chair that used alternating current to prove how dangerous AC was. Edison's company also publicly tortured animals to prove its point. In 1903, they electrocuted a circus elephant named Topsy and produced a film about it called Electrocuting an Elephant. Despite Edison's schemes, good things were happening for Westinghouse and Tesla. They underbid Edison and his newly formed company, General Electric, to illuminate the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893. The first all-electric fair celebrated the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's discovery of America. It was clear to the 27 million people who attended that AC would power the future. Their success continued when they beat out Edison's General Electric again to build the world's first alternating current power plant in Niagara Falls. The hydroelectric power station was a massive success and helped light up Buffalo, New York. The building of the plant also meant Tesla became a pioneer in renewable energy. His statue can be found at Niagara Falls today. Westinghouse and Tesla won the war of the currents, and direct current was being phased out. But there were problems.
Suck it, Edison.
Westinghouse's company was running out of money and eventually went $10 million into debt. In 1897, he went to Tesla and asked if his royalties could be reduced in a desperate attempt to save the company. Tesla was so compelled by compassion for his friend that he ripped up his contract. He was grateful to Westinghouse for believing in him when no one else would. Tesla.
Now, let me tell you something right here. Business 101. There are no friends in business. What he should have did was not tear up his contract. He should have renegotiated. Instead, he gave this guy a 100% pass, and this is why Tesla died broke. Tesla was the first rapper. Lil Tesla.
Willingly walked away from $12 million in royalties, which in today's terms would be worth over.
Low key, that's a hard rap name. Lil Tesla. Lil Tess. You got that little Tess. Yo, Lil Tess be on it. It's like, what is that? A little country redneck white girl? It's like, nah, it's the realest nigga in Philly, yo. Lil Tess, man. Young Tesla, man. Shit's electric. All right.
For $300 million. Had he held on to those royalties over time, he would have likely become the wealthiest person on the planet and the first person with $1 billion net worth. That act of compassion for his friend, of tearing up his contract, saved Westinghouse. In return, Westinghouse paid Tesla $216,000 for the rights to use his AC patents forever. This is the equivalent of about $6 million today. With that money, Tesla became financially independent and set up a series of laboratories in New York for new projects, where he was visited by the rich and famous, including his close friend and one of the greatest American writers of all time, Mark Twain. This was his period of many inventions. He held over 300 patents in his lifetime. He created an early version of neon lighting, the Tesla turbine, a bladeless turbine for vehicles. He pioneered X-ray technology by experimenting with radiation. This is an X-ray of his own hand. Another standout invention was one of the first remote controls. In 1898, he controlled a miniature boat at Madison Square Garden in New York. It was so far ahead of its time that the crowd thought he was using magic to make it move.
Have you played any of the Red Dead Redemptions yet?
Yeah, the first one. I never finished it though.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. They just re-released it and whatnot for PlayStation 4. But if you got your 3, you can play it on there. I actually got the game. Actually, I don't know if you got it. I'll bring it home back with me if you want it. And whatnot.
Yeah, I got the game on. I got the third. On the 3. I got it on the PlayStation 3.
Okay. Yeah. But in the new one, when you go to like the city, one of the characters that you meet is basically Nikola Tesla. He's out there working on that remote control boat that they just showed.
Oh, okay.
And he's fucking with it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "Yo, I need somebody to help because I got a demonstration." So he calls you over, like, "Yo, hey, dumb nigga, come on, fuck over here, because I'm gonna show these niggas any dumb motherfucker can use it." So he has you drive the remote control boat around while he's talking to investors, like, "See, I want you to invest in this. This is dope," and whatnot. And they also had him have his laboratory, which was up in the hills, and it had the big Tesla tower and all that. And you helped it with it. So shout out to Red Dead Redemption 2 for showing love to Nikola Tesla. Even though he was a nut job, and he eventually made a robot that was like Frankenstein that killed him. That was great.
That would be the ancestor to today's remote-controlled drones. One of his most well-known inventions is the Tesla coil, a device that can produce large amounts of high-voltage electricity. Because of the coils, he discovered he could send and receive powerful radio signals when they resonated at the same frequency.
When I'm
Tesla
president,
was
I want to
getting
restart
ready
this
to broadcast his
project.
first radio signal, but
Man, I'm telling
disaster
you, man, we
struck.
master this, man. We get
A fire destroyed his lab in 1895. He lost years of research and equipment. Tesla didn't apply for a patent for the radio until 2 years later. The fire would be the turning point in his life that led to a downhill spiral. At the same time that he was working on radio, an Italian entrepreneur, Guglielmo Marconi, was also working on the radio in England. He tried to acquire patent rights in the US, but was turned down because it was too similar to Tesla's. However, things changed when Marconi was able to send the world's first transatlantic radio message in 1901 using 17 of Tesla's patents. Edison then threw his financial support behind Marconi. Tesla had no problem with Marconi's achievements, but in 1904, the U.S. Patent Office suddenly changed its mind and awarded Marconi a patent for the invention of the radio. There has never been a reason given for this decision, but the powerful financial backing Marconi received could explain it. Marconi went on to win the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1911, which was only possible due to Tesla's work. Tesla was furious and sued Marconi. The case dragged on in court for
Don't get
years
mad
and
now,
was
bruh.
only settled in
See?
Tesla's favor
Our artist,
after
he's the
his
first
death.
rapper. Bad
That
was
radio
business. Now he
incident
want to sue for a
negatively
new record
impacted
deal.
the rest of Tesla's career.
Like, nah,
For
son.
example, Tesla was obsessed with bringing wireless communication to the world and built a huge wireless transmission station in Long Island, New York, called Wardenclyffe Tower. He imagined a world where we could send and receive messages wirelessly. He was, again, well ahead of
The
his
internet.
time. But financial backers did not have enough faith in his project. They
Damn,
pulled
this nigga
out
had
and
the
banked on
internet figured out
Marconi's
way back
radio
then.
invention instead. This left Tesla in financial ruin. He had no choice but to abandon his dream project in 1905 and eventually lost Wardenclyffe Tower to foreclosure. Tesla's mental health deteriorated. He lived his last decade in the New Yorker hotel, beginning in 1933.
So sad.
Westinghouse Corporation hired him as a consultant and paid for his room. He lived rent-free but died in debt. So why did one of the greatest inventors of all time fade into obscurity and die penniless?
Bad
You could
deal.
say Tesla was unlucky at times, like when the fire burned down his New York lab. But the main reason is because Tesla was not a capitalist. He made decisions that those with more business acumen would not have made, such as giving up his royalties for the AC motor. He wasn't concerned about money. He was concerned about the pursuit of science for the betterment of humanity. He wanted to change the world, and he did. Thanks in part to Elon Musk's company, people are starting to learn more about the man who inspired the company, a man whose inventions would power our entire planet. It's because of Tesla that modern society functions the way it does. Tesla's mother called him a child of light, and she was quite right.
Thanks so much for watching the story of Nikola Tesla. I hope you enjoyed it.
So now with our tech word of the week, Nikola Tesla. And we will close out the show at that. I got to go get ready for this comedy show downtown and whatnot. So give us some final words, Volo.
Very interesting story. We can dive deeper into it as we, do more and more of these. Tesla is, Edison. I know.
We'll do Edison next week.
Okay, we'll do Edison next week.
Yeah.
I'll try to do some research. I remember reading some stories about Rockefeller and how he was ripping them off too or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was dope. That was good choice, man. That was dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm still on Facebook, but I'm being blocked. Calling too many centralist coons is not good. So,
nah, you can't do that, dog. You can't. Nah, I don't call nobody shit no more. I just put a smile emoji or like a face and then go about my business. Like I ain't been in Facebook, Meta jail in like 2-3 years. I'm done with that, man. Like,
I mean, it's so bad you can't even call him Cartman.
Dude, you can't make no jokes. You can't even say, "Yo, dude, you sound like this." You can't say you're acting like you can't nothing. You gotta speak in like all third persons, like we, us, they are C students. Like you gotta call people C students. That's the biggest insult you can give somebody. You're a C student. That's all I got.
So I've been tweeting more in the meantime. So you can check me on Twitter, VOLO Tautology. I even tweeted that I ate breakfast this morning. Like I'm gonna get into that kind of tweeting now.
Nice. You're a real Xer now.
I threw up a TikTok, VOLO M Tautology on TikTok, and then VOLO Television. Yeah, I'm going to drop that 5-minute video any day now. I don't know if I'm gonna call it VOLO Chronicles or I might call it something different. Where I'm trying to do some little lessons, recapping what I've been basically, doing on there anyway. Besides sharing me and the boy getting on roller coasters together.
There you go.
Which I wish I'd have made more videos at Hershey Park, but it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I would tell you. Like me, I just took off a week for my birthday and whatnot, and I'm gonna go to that Legoland, and dude, I'm gonna record that whole trip, and then when I come back, I'm gonna edit it up and make it like a promotion video and put it on my pages and stuff. Because like people like to see that more than they like to see our regular stuff.
Yeah. I only, I went live for 5 minutes or whatever, and then I recorded him, describing the ride real quick after we got off that Wildcat Revenge. That Wildcat Revenge is no joke.
Oh yeah. That should look off the chain. But no. Just remember for next time you go, just make sure you clear out your phone. Make sure you got a nice space in your phone and whatnot.
I got
and
the port.
Shit, like record when you're walking in the front gates. Record every time you're about to get on a ride. Record a quick little second, maybe the sign. It's just really like 10, 15 seconds each time. You don't gotta.
I got a terabyte on my phone. It's a shame that I ain't recorded the whole damn show.
Oh yeah, you should be ashamed. So like me, I only got like whatever the smallest amount of gigs is they offer on the phone because I'm a cheap fuck and whatnot, and all my other shit has to go to the cloud. But yeah, if you got that shit on your phone, yeah, man, dog, take advantage of that, especially because the phone, I'm sure, has a great camera and whatnot. And it's just like, and the cool thing is, it's not like you got to really think about it. All you do is just record just little, like 15-second little bang over the course of the day. You don't got to sit there and get no long talk unless you want to, and then just record it. And then when you come back, you can almost just lay them all out in order and just put transitions in music.
Yeah.
And it'll basically do the whole trip.
We'll do as we, keep building on this, man. And, I'll try to, be on the next TD hip hop or whatever.
Yeah, right. Any other final words?
No, that's all. That's all for the day.
All right, great. Well, yep, I'm Mr. Seaton Force, Poppy called a bad boy. This is VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. We will be back on Monday for Noodle-Free Mondays, where we discuss people who do stupid things and talk about why they did such stupid things. On Wednesday, we have the My Part of Town podcast, which is a Philadelphia-based concept show, but really about all major cities, city life, food, fun, crime, and everything else that goes on in the world today. And we're going to keep on trucking, making our individual videos. Check out VOLO's channel, VOLO Television. Check out mine, Cat Poop Crazy Carl. Check out my Twitch, Mr. C Twitch Gang. And check out my Facebook, Mr. C the Enforcer, or Skit Bags Entertainment. And that page does have 137,000 likes. So definitely go to that page. It is the only legitimate thing I have on my social media life. So that's that. And we also got a bunch of great videos we made back in the day, movies, films, and everything. So we are out of here. We'll play one more video, take this to the 15. Let's find one of your videos to finish this up. We'll cut this at the 7 minutes. Let's pull up a VOLO video. We'll just let that play us out of here. Let's see what we got. Let's see, what's it, 7 minutes? So we'll pick something about 6 minutes. Share. And we'll go with, let's see, bang, 7. There it is, 6:32.
See, I have to make videos. Mr. C told me, you have to make videos in order to explain, what you're trying to convey with your memes and ideologies when it comes to religion, politics, and science. And it's supposed to be a country of the free, where we have free speech and we're able to say what we need to say and what to say. And, from there, build upon what, made this country as great as it is. So, and what made hip hop what it is. This is Hip Hop Appreciation Month. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be celebrating the culture created by the children of the 60 Civil Rights Movement. So we're supposed to talk about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Kwame Ture and what they brought to the table and how they, helped us to build this great culture that's worldwide. It's made billions of dollars around the whole world. People still using it to sell their art, to explain their science, to be rigorous with their sportsmanship. For example, Public Enemy came out back in the 80s. Politically, they've been, Chuck D has been on the Democratic side, and we still respect and love Chuck D to death. I do. Their second album was Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. And on their album, he had a song called She Watched Channel Zero, which he talked about at that time women would watch a lot of soap operas and more into soap operas, so they weren't swimming the restless and General Hospital, and I would watch a show or two with them, and those shows really show how much of the personality that women would take on, the characters that was on those shows, psychological understanding or aspect of it, and the same with philosophical and sociological. You can measure all of that, So, but my last video, I start talking about the three fates of classical. The three fates of classical mythology, and I wanted to apply that to. Religion, science, and politics. With politics, I shared a couple memes. We have a senator in Rhode Island named Tierra. She's a leftist. She says she's queer. And for votes, she's actually twerking for votes. Now, I don't know how she expects for twerking for votes. That's just how weird that is. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the same note, Democrats, we have Charles Booker down in Kentucky. All right, he's running, but he's not a leftist. He's a progressive. So he's down with the leftists, but instead he's not. They on the same team, so it's the same number line. But he's leaning more towards conservative kind of family, father, life, and children kind of ideology. Leftists like Tierra Mack is on some, the LGBTQ, right? So Charles Booker is trying to show that he's also down with Black Lives Matter, but in his video, he's making fun of conservatism by putting a noose around his own neck to say that's what they want to do. If he was to become a Republican, they would hang him. I guess is the ideology that he's trying to convey. But it's like, you put a noose around your own neck, like Juicy Smollett, who's down the leftist ideology. So that's why it's like it seems like it's a gender war going on with the Democratic Party with black people. A lot of black men is going, not these hoes, or or my wife comes first, not these gay dudes, and they don't like that. So what they do is they do the sneak attack, and that's what's actually going on. But I'm just pointing out, this is channel zero. This is what they give. These are the options that the Democrats are giving you. They're giving you either one, be completely out of control like Tierra Mack, or two, put a noose around your own neck like Charles Booker. Brothers are still going to vote for Charles Booker, and it's going to make it seem like it's patriarchal, because he's a Kappa. I was thinking about being I'm no hating on the Kappas or the Qs or the Iotas or the Alphas. Not that type of dude that be, I see good things with male fraternities, but y'all understand male fraternities are treated like it's a patriarchal practice. Hence, that's what the war that is going on in the Democratic Party, and that's why it's like I really don't have any. It's wasting my time dealing with them. I can't deal with them anymore. And now I got a MAGA hat on, but I'm on a whole different dimension when it comes to politics. Because I use science and religion to understand God's will, right? But I'll jump more to that later on. I already took too much of your time, but thank you for your time for listening, and stay tuned for more. One God, that is hip hop. See, I have to make videos.